Welcome to another video in Bughmire, and today we'll be building right here. And we will be building a gold processing plant here. And we need a gold processing plant there because it's going to be part of a dark ride that we're working on. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I highly recommend checking out the first episode, which is called Gold Scout. And today I'm going to talk a little bit more about the dark ride and then show you a speed build of the gold processing plant. So let's jump in. And here we are in Bughmire. You have very likely seen the first video if you're checking this out. And in the first video, it's called Gold Scout. We're checking out this place here. There's like an on ride and stuff, and I talk exactly about this particular build. So if you want to see the POV, go check out that video. It's really cool, in my opinion. And of course, that's me saying it because I made it and I like what I make. So there's that. And on top of that, I started expanding the park a little bit and I started working on a place called Boogies Bend. It sounds very dodgy, and it is very dodgy. But this section, I'll do a quick overview. You enter through here. There is a restaurant or like a shop down here, and then there's a attraction like a dark ride, but an open dark ride that goes along through this entire section of the park. It is this town, Boogies Bend, is completely dominated by a brewing company called Wild Beers. And because of that, a lot of people that live in this town are either drunk or they are doing stupid stuff. You will see from the outside the town looks really nice, but once you go on this ride called Wild Ones, you'll realize that it's not so nice town. We got June Delights here on the left, a little seating area. And some more seating here, and then you can peek through here, but here's part of the ride. There's a guy in a barrel, I mean, and these guys are shoveling poo. Nice. So that's the left side, and then on here on the right side you've got Wild Ones, the exit. So the exit is just up there. And they've got Motel Boogie, which is a big motel in town where all the guests stay or the people that are in town. I've not finished it yet. I made the basic shape of it. So here's the entrance to Wild Ones, which is the ride I was talking about. I'm currently working on. And then if you go on here to the left, you can see another section of the dark ride. And if you go up here, you've got a little house. And on here you've got Wild Beers, which is a pub, which is pretty much a big beer barrel. And if you go inside, you've got, this is where you can order your beers. The one and only, Wild, the one and only. What are they selling? IPA, 10 New Zealand dollars. Happy Daisy, 15 New Zealand dollars. White Original, 2 New Zealand dollars. And then you're like, why is it so cheap? Well, that's because they want people to get drunk and drink more. Because it's fun. Smiling Twat. That's a 333 New Zealand dollars. One of the most famous beers. I forgot. It's fucking hell, mate. 13 New Zealand dollars. Get Smashed IPA, 1 New Zealand dollars. Total shit faced. 0.5 New Zealand dollars, 50 cents. Demon Blood Pint. 666 New Zealand dollars. So a lot of cheap beers, a lot of good beers. And then once you've ordered your beer, like there's a guy just passed out in the corner. And there's beer that's leaking here. There's a guy passed out in the corner. This guy's just taking a wee. Nice. And here we've got a cute beer garden. People are enjoying their beers. And you can sit here. There's a guy in the planter. Like, what are you doing there? Yeah, so this is like the beer garden, and again, there's a dead guy here, and there's a dead guy here. So from the outside it looks like, oh, this is a normal town. But once you really start looking into the details, it's a not so normal town. Now the story of this town goes that there is a bandit crew that live underground that steals beer barrels to run the pub, kind of thing. So the pub is being controlled by the local mob, local beer mafia, so to say. So if you go through the entrance here, this is the queue. Again, it's not fully finished yet. It's just the basic queue. And then here we've got the ghost train ride, which is like obviously not finished yet. I've not even finished the track. That's what we're doing in this video. We're going to be doing some building, a speed build. But I wanted to give you guys a little introduction to the town, what it's all about. And then here's some more. And here you got the guys breaking in and stealing everything from the brewery. And if you go up, you can enter the brewery as well, the Wild Brewery. Here you've got the Wild Brewery. And here you've got the Moab. The mother of all barrels was created for Beerfest 2020. However, it was never opened because all townfolk were too drunk to open it. Now it hung here to remember the townfolk how smashed they were that day. So it's being guarded. And there's the whole brewery down here, which is where the it's all guarded. That's where the dark ride is, another section. And then you're being kept. One of the bandits is keeping an eye on you. Make sure if you buy the beer. And here is, yeah, you can buy some more beer here if you want. If you fancy, all these guys loving their beers. And then this is the outside. Again, it's not fully finished yet, as you can see. But that's pretty much it. So this dark ride under here is already about 2 or 3 minutes long. But most of the dark ride you can't see because it goes all the way up here through all these buildings here and through here. And then also on the ground there is a lot of stuff happening on the ground, the bandits lair and stuff. But you're gonna have to stick around if you want to see the on-ride. So now the dark ride is ending up here, and it's going to like come around the corner here and then go along this area and then go through here. And then, yeah, pretty much end up connecting back to the station here. So what I want to do, because it's the outside of time, it's supposed to look nice. I want to make a gold melting or gold processing place. So this ride is completely designed to find and collect gold. It's called the Gold Scout. So I'm wanting to build some mine trains like these, the ones that you see here. And then I want the mine trains to like maybe come out over this way here, but definitely out of the side here. And then just come along here to the side for like scenery. And then here I want to build a gold processing plant. So that's what this video is about. We're gonna be building the gold processing plant, or at least as far as we can. I don't want the video to be too long and boring. And I will expand a little bit more track and then see how far we get. Let's go. So the first thing I'm doing here is I'm bringing in some of the coaster tracks from the scenic mine train. So I want to just come pass by and have the trains continuously driving on it, so it looks like gold is being delivered. These mannequins will obviously go out. So first thing I wanted to do is bring the dark ride track over the mine train. So it did take me a while to get the terraforming right, and because if you have seen the whole, well, if you've paid attention to a little bit of the dark ride, you see that all the track has been hidden. So only that little like thicker line on the top of the track is visible. So I'm just trying to blend that in a little bit with the terrain. And I'll put some planks down as well, as you can see here. And the sound of the planks putting down is really fun. Yeah, I'll fast forward a little bit. gonna put down some more planks. It just sounds really fun. Listen to this. I love that sound. When I was listening to it, I was laughing. So I'm just chucking down some rocks, and obviously you can see everything is still grass. But later on I will obviously paint all of this stuff back to the more western looking colors, like the sandy colors. So I'm just stopping the mine train here so that I can bring the track over and make sure there's no clipping. I don't want the mine train to be hitting the track of the dark ride. So just playing around with some terrain again. I'll be laying some more planks, making sure that all the track is covered. So here, let's just enjoy the sound of the planks. This is some real Planet Coaster ASMR. So I wanted to obviously cover this part of the track as well. So I'm just making some bigger platforms that I can just rotate them and cover the track. And again, as you see, only the thick guiding part of the track is just poking out. So it looks a little bit more, it's not really realistic, but it just looks like the terrain is like varying a little bit. I'm just making a little bit of a bridge here so that the coaster train can go underneath and the ghost train on top. I don't actually know why I've decided to pick the ghost train, but I think I've picked it because it's very small and you can make it go around really tight corners, and rotate it to get a bit more like look around. Even though you can do that with a like a tractionless dark ride as well. I just wanted to have a smaller dark ride so I can make it do those tight corners. So yeah, that's why I think. Just putting some supports in, it looks a little bit nicer from the side instead of having just ground, I guess. Let's taking some rocks in. I'm not really going into too much detail at the moment. I'm just trying to get a rough idea for what I want to do first. Let's finish this bridge first. And you also see I put a lot of things down and then later on I delete it again just because I'm not sure if it's actually going to work out with what I want to do. And this is just stuff I come up with in the moment. So I've not have any concept art or anything. This is just literally a visual representation of how my brain works. I come up with something and I'm like, no, it's not working. Then I delete it again and then I might just place it back again. It's all over the place. So just finishing off. I have the ghost train stopped here because I wanted to make sure I make it high enough. So as you can see, I'm using the ghost train as a little like perspective, like view. I want to make sure that when you're on the ghost train, that you can actually see out and not be obstructed by this wood. So this is what I have at the moment. You got the mine trains coming by and the ghost train going up there. Now I'm just going to work on the actual gold processing plant. So I'm using these wooden platform as a little bit of a guide. I kind of had the idea to have the dark ride come from the top, rotate leftwards and then go back down, and then again rotate leftwards and then come back towards the mine trains arriving. You'll see what I mean in a second. I'm just putting some roof down and trying to make it all blend in and work well so it doesn't look silly. Doing a little bit of terraforming here and there. And I still have no idea what I'm actually making. So here you see me playing around a little bit with a coaster. You'll see later on why. Because I wanted to have some like stationary mine trains located, so that when you go by with the ghost train, that you can actually see some stationary mine trains just sitting there at the bottom of the unloading part kind of thing. So the idea was the ghost train or the mine trains arrive and then they'll stop there, and then the workers that are working down there are unloading it with some kind of device. At the moment I hadn't really an idea of what I wanted to make. So there will be some like unloading areas. And then also I wanted to transport the gold upwards to the right using like a transport belt that you saw in Gold Scout. So I'll be using those transport belts to move the unloaded gold upwards into a melter. So here I'm playing around with the layout of the track. I have a hole in the middle, which is I wanted to use to get those transport belts moving the gold out. And then I started building down there, and I was like, oh yeah, this looks cool. How am I going to make this work? And then I realized, oh yeah, the transport belt is supposed to go here. So then I deleted again. So I had to make it go straight and then come back down on the other side. And that gives us more room as well to make the track curve around leftwards towards the mine coaster track. So I'm trying to sort out what I do with the ground here. Am I going to put like a floor in or just keep it dirt? So yeah, I wasn't quite sure, so I'm just playing around with the terrain here a little bit to see what works. And later on I decided to do something different, but you'll see. So I'm just fencing up the terrain a little bit, separating the track from the dark ride. And then putting some planks down, just make it all look a little bit nicer. I mean, the building is not going to look like fully polished now. This is just a concept. And then later on I will add all the details in. So here I'm trying to just lay the basic exit of the dark ride from the building. And then I realized that the scenic mine train track is actually too high, so I just lowered it a little bit. So here I'm installing those stationary minecarts. And you know, in Planet Coaster 1 the coaster station are just so ugly. So I'm trying to like blend the coaster station in so that you don't see that it is a coaster station. And this mine track that was already there, I'm just bringing it back so it looks a little bit better. So you've got stationary coaster train, stationary minecarts on the side with passing minecarts in the front. So now I'm just trying to hide the coaster station. Again, I didn't want it to look like there is a station there, and the only way to get stationary minecarts is by having a coaster station. Although now I'm thinking about it, I could have just built a track and let the coaster train just sit there. You know how it doesn't have enough speed and they can sit idle? Anyway, that's like too late now. It's already finished. So now I'm going to build up a wall to hide the operator and the fences from the queue. So that all you see when you come down that track, the dark ride, all you see is stationary coaster cars. I didn't like the basic fenced wooden walls, so I just decided to like custom make one. Change some of the angles of the wood so it doesn't look so repetitive. Obviously I could have done a better job, but that's something when I start polishing the building. This is again just a concept. Here I'm going to extend the wall a little bit. Just wanted to make sure you have absolutely no chance of seeing the coaster station from the dark ride. So just putting down a couple more of pillars, making sure that the track doesn't hit any pillars and there's still consistency in the support. Putting some roof up, and that's kind of the basic shape of the building. So here I'm bringing in the transport belt, and it was a little bit too short because I wanted it to reach over that wooden part where the track is. So I've kind of expanded it a little bit, which you will see in a bit. But first I gotta make sure that it's secured to the ground and it looks a little bit realistic. But I wasn't quite sure on what angles to do the supports on. So I'm just playing around here a little bit. Make sure that the supports look a little bit more realistic. So here you see I'm actually extending the transport belt. Boop. There it is, all nice and extended. And now you see it's reaching over the track on that dirt patch on the side, which I then polish. And I wanted to make like a little platform where it dumps the gold and the rocks that comes from the minecarts. So yeah, here's me just checking, making sure that there's no clipping of the POV, like the heads of the people. So yeah, it's starting to look like something. From my brain it was all scrambled, and then kind of once I start working, I kind of make it up as I go along. And I'm not sure if I'm the only one doing that. But when I'm building, it really is just like what I'm thinking about in the moment, and that's kind of the thing that I'm building. But I still wanted to like look nice. So often you'll see me build something and then later on figuring out, oh wait, that actually doesn't look very nice, and then you see me deleting it again. So it's kind of very sporadic. But that's just how I build, and it's worked out really well for me. So just putting a couple of extra levels in the back, so I've got something to work with later on. You see me putting on some roofs later and then deleting it again, and then building some more and then deleting that again. Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing. So I'm just putting down some of the fences to protect the guests. Not that I really care, but it just looks nicer. And I started thinking about what I want to do with the interior. First I thought I will just use it, like leave it as dirt, but then I decided I'll put a floor in anyway, like a rough rocky floor like you see here. But I had a problem because the transport belt that I placed was a little bit too low, and you see it's like clipping in the ground. So I'll delete a little bit of the floor and then sink it in. You'll see in a sec. See, here I go. Sink it in a little bit, dig it out, and just make sure that it looks a little bit more realistic. So in all reality, I didn't really have any idea what I wanted to do with the interior. But I did know that I have the stationary mine train just sitting there. So I wanted to incorporate that somehow. So I was thinking about maybe making some kind of a contraption that the people that work down there can use to unload the gold and the rocks from the minecarts. So I'm just playing around a little bit with rocks here, seeing what looks most natural. I decided to keep this like natural, so it blends in well with the terrain later on when I spray paint it. I like use terrain paint. Just putting on some supports here, make it all look a little bit like better. So the idea was once you come down from the dark ride, you're looking towards this coaster track, and I want the coaster to come by as you ride down. So I increased the amount of cars so that there's a higher chance of seeing a coaster when you go down there, which I think looks really cool. Now I decided to get the walls up, but I still wasn't sure what I was going to do with the back. I had it raised slightly, and I came up with the idea that this gold processing plant is pretty much run by the local gang, which plays a big role into this dark ride. This dark ride started as this is a tour of the crazy town. It's called a wild ride. Wild ride. And it really is, and I wanted to like keep that vibe of it being wild and crazy in the dark ride. So throughout this whole dark ride you see there's a lot of stuff happening. You see a lot of like the bad sides of town, and you see that there's actually like a local gang involved in stealing things. making sure people spend all their money on the beer, which is actually run by them, the Wild Beers company. I thought I need some kind of like gold ore that's being transported on the belt, so I made these like rocks with pieces of gold poking out. And yeah, I started putting some people down there, make it a little bit more realistic. So here I started thinking about, so what do I actually want to do with this area down here? Obviously I want some gold on the ground that's already been unloaded, so I'm using these like gold ores that I made, which is pretty much just a rock with the golden coin from the statue adventure pack from Planet Coaster. Put some little pieces of coal down, make it look like this, like little pieces of rock, and bring some of the dirt up, which I then color black so it looks like rocky. Put some more of the gold pieces down, nicely incorporated. So I decided to extend the supports of the belt a little bit because it looked a little bit unrealistic to me. But because I had the track there, I had to kind of relay the track, make sure that there's no clipping when you're on the ride, because that's something I really don't like. I don't like clipping of the POV with objects on the ride. I don't like it. So I wanted to make sure that that didn't happen. So yeah, started trying to theme it a little bit more down there, and but I wasn't quite sure what to put down. So I just have some people shoveling the gold from the carts onto the transport belt, and then I started thinking. I had an idea of making this contraption of bringing the gold from the mine carts towards where the workers are. So I thought I'd put a track upside down and some kind of like pulley system. And I tried a mine cart, but that didn't work, and like it physically didn't make any sense it hanging upside down. So I decided to make my own. So first I'm playing around with a little bit of wheels, kind of a similar way as how roller coasters are attached to their track. But yeah, I needed wheels in the back, wheels in the front. I'm kind of annoyed that the little minecart didn't work, and it would have been so much faster. So I'm just putting down the wheels first and then connecting them with some wood. Putting the wheels to the inside instead. Just looked a little bit better in my opinion. There we go. I also thought it was important to have the workers being able to pull the that little car towards them. So I attached some ropes with a wheel to like allowing them to pull the rope through like a pulley system, and then having the car come towards them. So that's what I'm kind of building here. But it looked a bit silly because I didn't have the right angles for the rope, so I just add some rope so to hide it a little bit, the angle of the rope. And I attached a little basket to it with some rope so that it can load it in. And yeah, that is that pretty much. I was quite proud of this invention. Yeah. So I really needed to do something with this background of the facility. So I put down some roofs and decided that I would create 2 levels. So one ground level, the one that I put the fences down now, and some walls obviously. And then one level just above that. And then I was thinking, because this place is being run by like bandits, I put down some bandits. Here we go. just keeping an eye out on the people that work there. It's by no means finished. This is just the basic, like I said, the basic concept, and I will further detail it later on. But at least we got some kind of structure that we can work with, and theme. Yeah, putting some floor and roofs on this side, and then putting down some bandits there as well. Now that I've got the basic structure, I can pretty much decide afterwards how I want to theme it. But I'm thinking lots of barrels and lots of like pots with gold and bandits observing the people that are working there, and some more people on the floor working, picking up stuff, making sure that these transport belts are always full. And yeah, maybe I could build something like a washing, like a panning area, a little washing machine kind of thing, so that they can determine if it's what they're harvesting, if that's still pure or a high concentration of gold instead of just rocks and gravel. I'm making a little room here for the chief. And another window here, making sure that they can see everything and keep an eye out on the town. So this is kind of what it looks like now. I'm just extending the platform there a little bit because I came up with an idea to add another transport belt in, so that I have got a little bit more height, and then just let it all dump into a big burning furnace. So here you see me bringing in the second transport belt, trying to find the best angle so the gold and the rock from the first transport belt are then falling in the second transport belt. Obviously all the gold that was in between, I'll just leave it there because that's just like gold that just fell off. I have like a worker there shoveling it back on. And then I'm going to build a big furnace where the gold goes, like falls in, and that melts it into gold bars. And then some kind of system where I can get the liquid gold being poured out of this furnace, and then falling into like, yeah, a building somewhere where they melt bars from it. So I need to find out a system on how to do that. I've not thought about it yet, but that's something for the next episode, because I'm realizing that this episode is already on 33 minutes. So in the next episode we will be building continuation of the furnace and this melting system, and continuing the track of the dog ride. Obviously I need to add a lot of triggers as well, but I might do that on the side, so that next time when you join you will see me finishing this, and then you will actually see a POV, because I'm very excited to share that with you all. And I'm also excited to finish this dark ride because it's been on the makes for so long. I'm also thinking of adding another coaster, or maybe another completely different themed area where I built some coasters. I've got a really cool concept dueling mine train coaster, which I want to somehow make into like a temple dueling coaster, but maybe a dueling mine coaster, but then Mobius style, so you have 4 launches or 2 launches per coaster. That would be really cool. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. But yeah, that's something for the near future. A dueling Mobius style coaster. That sounds cool. complicated, but cool. So yeah, this is that melting pot that I was working on. You see the conveyor belt bringing the gold and the dirt into there. And I'm trying to decorate it a little bit so that it doesn't look like an ugly black cylinder. It's also quite high up, so I might just put some letters on it saying like Boogies Bend Meltery or something like that. Here I'm putting some trims on. It's looking a little bit better already. Not great, but I mean it is a furnace, so it won't look great. But I think this looks a little bit better already. I could probably add some steam, and you'll see me adding some steam, but maybe like a little exhaust at the top, that we have some steam coming out. But again, the video is now on like almost 36 minutes, and I really don't want it to be incredibly long and boring. So I'm probably going to stop it soon here. But yeah, here you see me adding in some steam, because obviously it's very hot. And the steam obviously needs to come from somewhere. So I put these pipes down just to decorate it a little more, like simulate a steam transport pipes system thingy-majiggers. So you can really see it's like coming together now. There's a couple of shots that you see where you see everything is coming together. Like when we started this video, it was empty, and now we have a gold transportation system, and we've built conveyor belts, bringing it into a furnace, burning it so that the gold is can be melted, and then putting it into like a liquid that then goes out to the side somewhere. But we will be making that in the next video and setting up some kind of like liquid gold transport system. Yeah, but it's really coming together. I'm really happy with the way it looks. I'm putting some steam here so it looks like the steam is escaping from like those the top sections, and here from the pipe, so when you go up the chain lift you get some of the steam in your face. And this is what it looks like now. I am very happy with the results. I hope you enjoyed this speed build. Let me know in the comments below if you got any ideas on things that I could consider making. Please subscribe, and in the next episode we'll be continuing this and more, and hopefully bring the dark ride back to the station. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.